going to be the choice of language for us, and it is a choice of language for people who are experimenting in data science, um, and to a very large extent AI as well. Um, there are two languages which are very popular. One is Python and another is R. R is something which is now with Microsoft. They have acquired this language around 10 years back. They did that. And for statistical modeling, R is considered to be better than Python. Otherwise, in all other places, Python actually excels. So it is important that we also understand why Python is the choice for data science, right? And there are clear-cut reasons why this is happening. So I hope you are on the screen where I've given the introduction to Python AI, right? And there are some IDs which have been listed. Just wanted to make sure that we are on the same page. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. See, there are multiple IDs which you can use, right? And while we are going to understand the basics of Python, looking at the way that the world is moving, most likely you will be using prompts to write code. Either it is using Chat GPT or maybe Copilot or something else. But the challenge is that if you do not understand the code and what is happening inside it, uh, there is a fair chance the model that you will put in place, the code that you are writing, and I'm assuming that you understand the meaning of code. Code here means the software code that you're writing, right? And I mean, generally, code constitutes programs, and programs are intended to do something. It can be, it, it has got a purpose with which you define that particular source code. So,
Right.
uh, uh, so when you are writing a code, most likely it will be prompt driven, right? And prompt you all by now you would have understood that, okay, whatever the query that you are sending to Chat GPT or any other LLM. Um, Chat GPT is kind of a synonym for an LLM. So pardon me for that. In case if I'm using Chat GPT instead of LLM, you can assume that okay, it's one and the same thing, probably at least for the conversation sake. Uh, but the point is that in case if you are putting all those prompts in place, the code is getting generated, the code is available in front of you, and you have to do some tweaking. You need to understand how the flow is happening. What are the different challenges in case if there is any kind of error, syntactical error? It is very well anticipated that AI will be able to tap it. But what about functional errors? The functional errors is something that you as a developer will have to troubleshoot. And for that, in case if you do not understand the basics of a language, basics of the coding, it is going to be difficult. So I understand that there are multiple categories of people in this forum. Some of you are technical, so you already know how the languages work, and Python for you will be just another language. So it should be straightforward, easy to learn, uh, and I think you can very comfortably build your muscle on Python. Now there are people who are kind of semi-technical. So to them, I would say that looking at the kind of course that we have stepped into and the kind of changes that we see in the technology world at this point in time, I think very soon there will be nothing like semi-technical. Either you will be technical or you will be non-technical, right? And non-technical will also mean that uh, the kind of knowledge that you have on the domain. Now with LLMs coming into the picture, some part of the domain knowledge, again, you can figure it out using prompts. So you have to go deep into it. And if you can embed the power of AI into your profile, that is going to be wonderful, right? Now, we'll talk about those who are actually not coming from the coding world, but I request them that please be patient. This is a place where you probably will struggle, but please be patient, stay put, and eventually you will figure it out that, okay, what you have learned in these sessions uh, are actually is meaningful, and you can go and replicate certain parts into your work profile as well and create a difference for yourself. So in case if you're getting stuck, if there is this is too technical for you, uh, my suggestion is just please stay in the call, stay put, stay focused. Don't get deviated. In case if it is difficult, it's okay. You can ask questions. Please do not hesitate in that. Uh, but stay put. I think
Okay.
it's going to be very important that we understand these basics and then we define, okay, I have understood what is required in the AI world, whether I want to use AI tools to increase the impact of my profile in the organization wherever I am working, or I will be building on top of AI. I mean, two different categories. Either you use AI or you build AI. So these are the two categories that we are, I mean, that will be the output probably from these such kind of sessions. So to figure it out, you don't have to really answer that particular question now. Maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line, you will have a fair idea that where you want to head to. And it is very encouraging that some of you who doesn't have a coding background, you are taking a lot of interest. And I'm sure that this is going to help you in your professional life for sure. So sorry, with that pep talk, let me get back to what is Python. So Python is a very powerful language and it's very versatile. It's very widely used. And when you look at the contemporaries of Python, it was Java, C Sharp, C++, C uh, in 90s. I think those languages were difficult. Uh, they had their own syntaxes. They were very, uh, I mean, in case if there is a challenge with the syntax, it will throw errors. Um, it's very type compliant and all, right? So Python, when it started developing, first of all, it's an open source. So that means that it's not a proprietary of any organization. So it's not from Microsoft, it's not from Sun, it's not from Oracle or something of that sort. So that means whatever you're developing on Python, you don't have to pay for the licenses. And that's very important. That's one. Second, it's very simple. And when compared to the contemporaries, to a very large extent, what you write, you should be able to interpret. I would say 60 to 70% should be true. The syntaxes in Java, they are difficult. Syntaxes in C, particularly, are just too difficult. They have their own advantages. We will not go there at this point in time. Why Python has become the choice for machine learning? We are kind of focusing on that. So it's a simple, it's easy to read, and it's open source. Then one of the important part is that since it's an open source, there is a large community who are developing different components using Python, and actually they are releasing it to the rest of the world. So what is happening is that day by day, Python is becoming stronger and stronger. So that's where we see some of the libraries like TensorFlow, PyTorch, right? So these are very powerful libraries, and they were not developed by the people who actually have developed Python. So it's in a way, the entire world, wherever the people who are actually kind of who likes open source, who likes Python, they are developing some components and they are releasing. So you have that backing to support you. And I think Python, from the installation standpoint, from the deployment standpoint, it is much more easier. So some of you may already would have experienced if you install Java. and then you run the program, sometimes it becomes a journey. It takes time. You have to go into a lot of complexities, like you have to go into the path variables and all. And sometimes it becomes really, really messy. Whereas if you look at how you have installed Python, it's relatively easy. So these are some of the reasons why Python is preferred a lot. And though we have compiled this in a single page, in a single slide, but the power of each point is immense. Uh, so please, maybe it's important for you to understand that, okay, why it has become the choice, right? Again, I think the kind of some of these things are getting repeated here. It's simple, readable, is very close to English, and this is what is happening in NLP world as well, where natural learning processing is happening. So you are expected to use the the day-to-day language to to code, right? Or to ask certain things from the system. Even before LLMs came into the system, the reporting platform, for example, Power BI, I remember that many years back they had integrated NLP into it. So you can query certain, I mean, you can just put plain English and ask questions, and Power BI was expected to respond to it. So again, there is a lot of focus on that side, that okay, how you can simplify the languages and how you can simplify the coding. Uh, because it's so simple comparatively, and it is kind of lot of English you can actually you can relate with. So it is easy for the beginners. Right? And in case if it is easy, of course, it is going to reduce your effort of development. It's an interpreted language. Now, when I say interpreted language, a quick one, interpreted and compiled. These are the two ways to deal with the language. Compiled code is when whenever you write a code, it needs to be converted into a form that machine can understand. I hope we are on the same page on that, right? Whatever you're writing, it needs to be converted into a some kind of uh, some kind of code. I mean, it needs to be translated into some form that machine is able to understand. Now, what happens in uh, compiled languages? The entire code is compiled and put into a form which can actually be passed to a machine. So it goes into a single way, a single shot. Whereas in the interpreted language, what happens that it every line will be picked up and it will be compiled and it will be executed. So it is a line by line execution that literally happens. And when you are going to run the code, you will figure it out that the moment you have written 10 different line of code, there is a problem with the eighth line. It will execute the seven different lines which are at the top and will fail at the eighth one, and will help you understand, okay, where the challenge is, where the issue is. In the compiled one, the code will not compile. The compiled form has got an advantage. It is much faster as compared to interpreted language. How Python actually overcomes some of these challenges, because interpreted is slower than the compiled one. We'll talk about it. There are certain tricks that Python developers have done. They have created libraries differently to overcome some of these challenges. We'll talk about them. And then it is dynamically typed. When I say dynamically typed, all I mean is that you don't have to specify what kind of in case if you are defining a variable, what kind of variable it is, whether it is going to be integer, it is going to be string, or it is going to be float, something of that sort. You don't have to define that. So the all you need to do is to initialize the variable, say x is equal to 10. So the system will understand, okay, x is actually now an integer variable. Right? And of course, we have examples to demonstrate. So it's not that only theoretically we will cover this. And then comes object oriented. So object oriented again, it's a huge concept in itself. So somebody who is coming from the non-tech world, um, very basic understanding is that it brings modularity. I mean, you don't have to repeat yourself many times. Whenever you're developing a piece of code, there is a lot of focus that you have to write it at one place and try to reuse it. And oops and modularity actually helps you to do that. So in a way, you are writing a class. Oops literally means class and their objects. You have written a class and you're using it elsewhere or everywhere, wherever it is required. So in case if you are building a student management system or employee management system, you have created an object, a class of employee. You have, and almost in all the modules, you are creating an instance of employee and using it. So that is the advantage of using an OOPS-based language. Uh, so again, we have spoken about it has got a very powerful libraries, large community. We already have spoken. Referring to, please let me know. I'm actually trying to cover a lot of distance in a very short time. In case if there is an issue, please let me know. Please ask me to stop. So we spoke about the standard libraries. There are a lot of libraries which are very powerful, and also at the same time, a lot of libraries are being written by the community and the ecosystem. Ecosystem is probably the best thing that Python offers. Yeah, please go ahead. I think there is a question.
Yeah. Exactly. What is a library?
Okay. Oh, okay. So just trying to understand how it in a way. So I'll pick up an example from uh, a day-to-day world, probably, right? Uh, so when you are in a way, I mean, a very different level of example. When you are assembling a car, right? So the assembly line is where probably you can relate that you're writing a code. Now, engine, probably you can assume that it's already been written. There are certain components which can be tweaked here and there, but largely the engine and its functioning is already written, and it is placed into something which can be reused. So you can assume that a library has got similar abilities. So say for example, uh, when you are writing a piece of code, uh, there is some bad data in your file, right? You have to check for nulls. You have to check whether the data is corrupted or not. So what you can do, you have created some program which accept a data set, some data, right? And it identify wherever there is a null, right? I am assuming that everybody understand null in the forum. So null is something which is undefined, right? When it is there in the table, it can be in Excel form, or maybe in Excel, you can for the time being you can assume that it is empty, right? Now in data science, these empty values they actually kind of impact the overall output, right? Now what you have done, you have written a function where all these nulls can be handled or the empty cells can be handled, right? What do you do? You actually put that particular program into a file, right? And then you call that file into other programs. So in a way, you are you have created once and you are using everywhere. So this is the power of library. This is library. Am I making sense?
Okay, so does it mean that a library has pre-prepared modules that can be used at will wherever required?
Well said. I think that's exactly what it is.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks for giving that jargon. Yeah, so it is predefined modules which can be used in in the other piece of code which you're writing. That's the right way of putting it. Any other question? Okay. So yeah, let's move on. We spoke about extensive libraries, ecosystem, communities. And it is also platform independent. That means that, and largely it means that if you have created any software, it should be able to run on different OS. So Python code has got that ability. It can be executed on Windows, Mac, Linux, and their extension can be run on iOS and Android. Right, so that's the kind of platform independence Python offers. There are other languages also, they offer platform independence. Just that we are talking about Python, so we are focusing on that. And it's great for rapid prototyping. So 10 years back or 15 years back, there were two different languages. One was Visual Fox Pro, and then there was Visual Basic, which was supposed to be for rapid prototyping. They were they can be be used to create prototypes that can be developed in very short span of time. Python also has got this same level of abilities. Reshma, please go ahead.
I wanted to know what is rapid prototyping.
Yeah. So say, Reshma, when you are given an assignment that you have to develop a particular piece of code, you have to develop a program, right? Um, uh, there are different languages that you can choose from, right? Again, there are a lot of parameters that will go into it. You need to understand what kind of users, what kind of functionality is expected, right? And based on that, you will decide. One of the parameters could be that it's a very the time to market is very limited. So you have to stand and deliver kind of thing. And in case with other parameters, say the kind of functionality that you need to deliver, if it is falling into the same category where Python can be one of the choice of language, now combine it with uh, the urgency that you have. Right? So that is where rapid prototyping comes into the picture, where you can use a language to quickly develop a piece of software. Right. So Python has got that ability, Reshma.
Okay.
Are we good on that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah. Then it is also integration friendly. That means that the program that has been written, and we also need to understand that when we are working in a corporate, uh, it's a very complicated world. There are a lot of systems, subsystems, softwares that you probably have to communicate with when you are writing a software. So it is important that how effortlessly your module is getting integrated with others. So if something is written in C, C++, Java, .NET, right? Python actually has got that ability that it can be easily integrated. And it has got variety in the sense that it can deal with databases, it can deal with APIs. We'll talk about APIs later. It can be used to create websites and web technologies. It actually can cater to that as well. So you have to create a front end, you have to create a back end, and you have to create a middle layer. Python can be used in any of these pockets. Hello. Yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry. I think there is an outage in at Airtel level. I think it is quite it's happening across different cities. It's not only restricted to a particular location, but it is happening across cities. So I have been experiencing this since yesterday, and I see similar kind of feedbacks I'm getting from my friends who are in different cities. So in case if you are also facing some kind of challenge, please let me know. You can go through the recording just in case if you drop out. But I hope you are able to hear me and you can see me.
Yes,
Yes.
sir, we can hear you, but
Yes, Anand.
sometimes your voice is broken.
Is it better now?
Yes, it is better now.
Okay. What I'll do, I'll switch off my camera so that there is a better bandwidth available at my end.
Sure, sir.
But please, I request the moment you see there is any kind of challenge, I know I can further switch my network. So just in case if the quality is getting compromised, please let me know. I will stop there and try to get onto the other network. Okay, so I hope you have heard me till yeah, I think that we had covered this entire slide, right? I was talking about front end, back end, and middle layer. Uh,
Yes.
I hope you heard me till that point. So, I mean, a quick one. Front end is something where which you generally create to interact with the users, all the websites, the forms, this interface which you are using in Teams. I mean, the one which you can see it's a front end, right? And then the back end is where all the data is going to getting stored. In a way, it is the server layer. And then there are a lot of business logics that you write, which comes into the middle layer, which is generally also called business layer. This is how it works. Oh, okay, so Python can be used in databases, web technologies, and APIs. I think, yeah, sorry, please go ahead. I think there is a question.
Yeah. So why Python is relevant or easy to use in data science and AI?
Oh yeah, so that's where we are actually heading towards. But I think some of these already we have covered. Now, we need to compare Python with the other contemporaries, the languages which are already there, which are solid, uh, that can give a competition to Python. First of all, Python is open source, and it is very important for us to understand that the power of open source would mean that first of all it is free, and then there are people who actually can contribute to the extension of this language, and this has happened. This has been happening for the last 30 years. Uh, Python came into being somewhere around 90s, and ever since there is a huge community that is backing it up. So that is one. Second, there have been some of the developers who have created outstanding libraries, outstanding modules, which can actually be, and they have given it back to the society. So this is actually typically happens in an open source, where you build on top of a particular platform and give it back to the platform and the users. So somebody else actually can pick it up, take advantage of it, and further build in case if it is required. So there are a lot of modules, a lot of libraries which have been written, um, say TensorFlow, PyTorch, which you will get to know about, Matplotlib, right? I mean, the list is endless. But some of these libraries, uh, they have been created with a thought that okay, they will be used extensively in machine learning. Say for example, TensorFlow. It is typically used in computer vision. So whenever there are images that needs to be processed, there are video frames that needs to be processed, this library can be used. Then there is another library, sklearn, when you have to get onto the machine learning algorithms, whether it is regression, whether it is classification, and some of these keywords may be overwhelming you, but we can pause to understand what all these keywords mean, because we are going to cover it up at some point in time. But since we are talking about why Python is so strong, that's why I have to go and qualify all the reasons, right? So these some of these functions which already have been built and are available in Python makes it very strong, very powerful. At the same time, the business can also understand. Somebody who is partially technical can also code using Python because it's easy to understand, easy to interpret. The syntax are very easy, right? And that actually makes it even more powerful. Am I making sense?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, sir.
okay, sure. Okay, so yeah, again, this is what is written in this slide as well, that it's widely used in data science. It has got a huge ecosystem. NumPy, Pandas, sklearn, TensorFlow, PyTorch, right? Some of these libraries and many more. The more deeper you go, you will realize that probably the community has literally touched each and every possibilities, and there are some libraries that they have developed, and it is available for you to consume. Uh, we have spoken about that it is pretty much readable. It is very clean and high level syntax. Uh, it's you will find it very easy to implement. But at the same time, in case if somebody is working on a language for the first time, uh, the challenge that you will face is that you cannot draw a parallel. You cannot compare it with other languages. So even the easy syntax probably will challenge you. So when we are calling it out, it is easy, readable, and other stuffs. It is actually in comparison with the possibilities that we have, the other languages that are available. And the other languages, as I said, Java, C Sharp, C++, C. These are not the languages that offer simplicity in their syntaxes. So that's why they are kind of not the choices. They are used, but majorly Python is used in data science and AI. Uh, okay, yeah. Other part is that it is scripting and object. I already spoke about object-oriented programming. Scripting, I'll leave it. I'll pick it up once we start working on Python, so that there is a correlation that you can draw. But scripting is a kind of a scaled down version of a language. For now, you can assume that. Uh, Now, some of the coding principles we have written down. Indentation is syntax. Will show you that. When you are writing some, I mean, these are some of the good practices. Whenever you're writing a variable, we'll talk about what is a variable, but please make sure that whatever whatever variables that you're writing, they have got a meaningful name. You can comment what your program is expected to do, what a particular line is supposed to do. So you have to comment wisely, and don't repeat yourself is something which is a jargon. I mean, which is a mantra which we use. So if you have written it once, try to use it in a way that write it in a way that it can be reused. So that's where modularity comes into the picture. Again, just the beginning. Um for those who already know languages, they understand it. But somebody who is new to a language, once we get into the coding side, you will get to know about it. Uh, then we have got data types, data structures. So typically, now when we are dealing with data science or any language, it is important that uh, there is a lot of back and forth that will happen in terms of data, right? The data can be name of a person, uh, some specific details like, for example, age, maybe gender, right? Now, if you look at it, how the system will hold, how a software will hold, name will fall into the category of alphanumeric, right? That's where the strings comes into the picture. Age will fall into the category of integers, and maybe the gender is kind of yes, no, or maybe we can pick up some other example, right? Which is kind of binary, 0 or 1, yes and no. That's where the bool will come into the picture. So these are the fundamental data types. I'll show you the syntax of them, each one of them. So we have got a lab which is expected to follow this conversation on a couple of slides once we are done with them. Then we have got list, tuple, and dictionary. List is when you create a list of say list of students, right? So that will fall into the category of structures. I mean, it's complicated variables where you're holding data. Then you have got tuple. Tuple is a row of a particular table that's called as tuple. Dictionary is a kind of a name and key value pair, literally the way dictionary works. So we'll show the examples of each one of these. Right. And when we are dealing with data structures or variables, it's typically used for holding and manipulating data. Then we have got loops and conditions. Loops, there are two loops generally we use, for and while. It is whenever you're dealing with some set of instructions which are supposed to be repeated. Say, for example, you have got a data set where you have got the name of the employees and you have to find where is, say, Muskan, right? So what you will do, you in programming sense, you will go through the entire set and try to relate, check where the name and the constraint that you have given, Muskan, where they match. This is how the program will work, right? When you're writing loops, again, we also spoke about if and else. If the name is equal to Muskan, do certain things, right? Otherwise, do some other steps. So we'll see how this syntax also works. And how break and continue work, we will see in the code directly now. Okay, so let me pause here and let me take you to the source code now, because I think some of these uh, some of these uh, jargons, some of these aspects, it is easy to understand when we put it into the lab. Give me a moment. Let me share my screen back. Please let me know once you see my screen.
Visible, Arun.
Visible, right? Uh, so those who are going to use some other editor.
There is something wrong with the connection. Your voice got stuck and the screen also got stuck.
Uh, okay.
It is
Uh,
actually visible and it was pretty audible as well to us. Just letting you
uh,
know.
so Sumit, I think are you using Airtel? Or maybe probably you have to disconnect and connect back. Okay, how about others? Are you
Yeah,
able to
Arun, we
hear
can
me?
hear you pretty well. Yeah, no problems at all.
Screen
Okay,
screen
sure.
is visible and we can hear you.
All right, okay. So if you see the screen, and I believe that some of you already have installed Python Anaconda. So what you need to do in order to reach to this level, uh, you need to write Jupyter Notebook, and the way Rajesh was demonstrating a while back. So when you click on Jupyter Notebook, it will open this window, right? And it will also open an Apache server in the backdrop. So and then your lab is ready to be used. So and what you need to do is to go into File, New, and say Notebook. this is how you will create a Python file. I say this. So this is an empty file which has got created. Uh, so you see that, okay, I can write some syntax, and there are different options out here that you can use to write the code, to execute them, and to debug. Right? And there are a few more options here, and you see that, okay, they have already integrated AI as well. So, but at this point in time, we are not going to get into the AI based development. We can do it later. Or you can also try it on your own. At this point in time, we need to make sure that the code we are writing, we can execute that. So now, if I go back, this is probably the simplest possible block piece of code. So wait, let's focus on this particular block here. So you see that we have created a variable by the name, right, and holding a value. Then we have got age, we whether a particular I mean, we are holding whether it is a student or not. So it's a true or false. It's a Boolean. So there are three different data types that are being created. One is string, second is integer, the third is Boolean, right? And then we are printing it. So in case you have written this, what you can do, you can go ahead and click on run this cell. And actually it shows you this output, right? Let me do this as well. Because since I ran it, it's holding the output as well. So now let's execute this. Yeah. So I know some of these aspects will be a bit tiring for you, uh, a bit difficult. Uh, but let me also share this that when you're working on a language, uh, computer language, it takes at least 6 months to get a good grip on it. Um, we will be covering a lot of distance in 1 month, right? And I expect and I request that people who are coming from non-tech background to do a lot of reading. Uh, Understanding a computer language, if you are able to do that, in a way you're good to be become technical. So that is the kind of hurdle that it has. Uh, so please do not hesitate in learning. And in case if there are some complications, you can definitely reach out to any one of us in the forum who are technical. You can reach out to me as well. But some learning, some level of studies you may have to do on your own too. So here what we have done, we have created different variables and then we are printing it. So if you look at it from a language standpoint, I think it is very easy to understand, okay, that what we are trying to do. We are putting name as Alice, age as 21, a student as true, so it's a student, right? And then we are printing it. So this is a syntax where probably you will feel, okay, what we have done. But essentially what we are trying to do is to uh, print name. Name is coming in the braces, and this F over here. Actually, this actually gives a special meaning to print functionality where it calls out that wherever there are curly braces, please understand which variable they are representing and get their data. As simple as that. And that's why we see these details, right? Name, Alice, age 21. So it has picked up the variables, and that's why the variables are used. So let's move on. Let me show you how the list and dictionaries work. So an example where we have created a list, and list is in this case it's a integer. It's holding different integers. So in this case it has got marks in it, right? And then we have got a student. Student, when we are defining a student, we are putting the name, then we are putting the marks which are picked from here, and then the attendance. So let's run this as well. So we have got name, Alice, marks 85, 78, 92, attendance 90. This is just to give you an understanding how the different syntax will work. Now, let's look into this. So what we are trying to do, in case if somebody has code more than 90, we want to print excellent, and we need to print the number as well, whatever the individuals have scored. In case it is less than 90, then what we need to do is to just print the marks, right? So, and what we are trying to do, we need to iterate. We need to loop through this particular list, which is holding 85, 78, 92 as values. So for marks, what is marks? Marks is a list that we have, and for every marks that we are actually, so in a way it will go through each and every element. First element it will put into mark, will check, and will take some decisions. It will move to the next. It again will put into mark. Again, it will check for whether it is greater than 90 and take some decisions, take some steps. So let's execute this. So what has happened? It picked up first 85, and of course 85 is less than 90, so it actually executed this else part. Right, and the same thing happened with 78. The moment it found something which is greater than 90, in this case 92, right, it actually printed excellent. So I can put another example there. Maybe let's add a few more variables, 95 and say 32, 43, something, some random number. So let's see how it works. Yeah. See, now this loop has been extended, and since we have got a few more values added to marks, uh, now it is iterating through 95 and 43 as well. So we have got mark, excellent, excellent. And so this is how the loops and the decision making is making happens. So development of code is all about loops and conditions. Understand well is covered.
Sorry,
Then we are
was not
defining a
able to
function
hear that last part.
here.
Voice was
Arun,
cracking.
we lost you last for
Yeah.
last 30, 40 seconds.
Oh, I'm so sorry for that. So let me repeat this. In this particular cell, what I have done is that I have created a loop, and it's a for loop. And when we are dealing with a for loop, this is the syntax. So it is dealing with this list, which has got different values in it, and it will pick up each element, put it into this variable, and check for whether it is greater than 90 or not. So this is how it is getting executed. Now, when I do this, yeah, so this is exactly what is happening, right? All I was saying was that in case if you can understand how loops works, how these decision making happens, some part of your language is actually kind of covered. I mean, very fraction one, but you use loops and decision making a lot in when you're writing a piece of code. Then we have got, so I cannot see your screen. So just in case if somebody is raising hand or you have a question, now you have to stop me from going further. You have to stop in and then and there because I cannot see if you are asking for a question. Then we have got this function where now function is something which you want to repeat, which you want to call again and again. Say, for example, here there is a function which has been we are trying to create is the name of the function is average or mean, right? So here the marks will be pushed into this function, right? And the output is uh, the sum divided by the number of elements, which is nothing but the average. And the advantage of function is that you have created it once and you can use it n number of times. So the average is 78.6. So these are some of the constructs that we have. Now, what I would request, I'm going to put this code into Teams chat window. Right, I request you to pick it up, execute it. It will give you some understanding how it is working, and it also will give you some comfort whether your lab is ready to execute Python programs. So first thing first, sorry, I think it's very important that we do this particular part. Otherwise, uh, when you are doing it offline, it will become difficult for you to catch up. And I want to make sure that we are doing this, following this practice. Uh, I request you to pick up the text from here, from the chat window, right? And whether you're using Jupyter, you're using some kind of online lab, let's try to execute it.
Arun, I have a question.
Yeah, sure, please go ahead.
So in the first example, name is equals to Alice. When we're printing, why are we using F there? And even like in every print statement, we have F. What does that mean?
Yeah. So F, you can drop F from here and you can try it out. So what it will do? Uh, F is in a way communicating that the rest of the statement has got characters in it. However, whenever and wherever you see angular braces, right? Uh, that means that I am referring to a particular variable. So pick up the variable value and print. So in case if you do this without F, what it will do, it will actually print this as is with name in the curly braces. However, if you put F, it will do something of that sort, name, ls, age, the value of age, student, the value of a student. So that's how it is going to work out. You can try both ways, Reshma.
Yeah, I just
That
did.
will
It
give you
did,
an understanding.
gave me, yeah, it gave me name, age, student instead of giving the name Alice, age, and yeah.
Yeah. So app actually is kind of pushing the system Python that please pick up the variable names and the variable details and push this into the string output which you are sharing on your screen.
Got it. And we don't
And
have
which is
to
coming
use,
on.
sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
And we don't have to use the F in printing lists, or how does that work? Is there a difference between printing a list and printing data
Uh,
types?
eh, no. So there is a difference. If you look at the syntax, so what actually has happened, you can actually pick up uh, uh, what you have. Okay, so if you look at, there are different syntaxes that we have provided. So with the for loop, if you look at it, F excellent mark, and let me share my screen back so that it's already sharing it. Yeah. So if you look at this particular place, Reshma, we have got print and marks are also getting printed along with F,
Correct.
right? Uh, but there are different ways to print. You can say
Okay.
print, and within print you can say mark. You actually can do this something of this sort as well. Print and say mark. That also you can try. You can say
Got it.
marks as well. That also will work. It
Okay.
is just that I wanted to concatenate the string with the variable to make it more meaningful.
Got it. Okay.
So this is where I'm requesting that if we play with these syntaxes, you will understand how they are actually getting executed, how they are working out. So are we done with the execution? Anyone who is through with this?
Yes, sir.
Gita, you are done. Sumit, Sohail, any luck on this?
Just trying.
Okay, okay. Somebody who's facing any issue, please share your screen and we can troubleshoot then and there. How about you, Visu?
Yeah, I'm good, sir. Actually, I'm using VS Code.
I, I I think it should be easy for you because you already have done this, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Rajesh, are you able to execute this?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, already done, right? Okay,
Yep.
great. So
I don't
okay.
just want to say, if I want to remove this, this Anaconda toolbox and this my account, here I can see, it is like the page you are showing is different here. Like, I mean, I can't remove these things left and right, to make it bigger, the page. I think it's normal, right? If
Uh, yeah, I think there's something which is different here. Uh,
if maybe I'm in different page or something. Because
and
it's
I see
showing
that your
it
phone is also working.
toolbox also is showing, project code, AI, and they're showing chat also, about this chat history and all. So let
Can you do this, Rajesh? Can you close this window? And is
I
there
don't
any
know.
command? Yeah.
Just to help, I think you just need to click on the right hand side. You see that sparkle symbol.
Oh, yeah, it is the AI mode.
Yeah, you just need to click on that once.
Rajesh, you are using AI mode on
Okay.
the right hand side, on the rightmost, little down.
The last option, just click on that once. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Perfect.
Perfect. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rishma, for this.
No problem.
Okay. So, okay, you have executed this, right? In your local system, Rajesh? It's
Yeah,
working.
yeah, yeah,
Great.
yeah. It's working, all working. First time it showed error of maybe typing I did, and after that all went well, executed.
Okay. So I think mm, we want to cover one more topic before we close and call it a day. So shall I go ahead and do that? Shall I get on to the next topic?
Yes, Arun. Yes, please.
Yes.
So uh, let me share my screen again. So, let me know once you see the deck, the presentation.
Not yet, Arun.
Yeah, I think just taking too much time. Give me a second, please. It's actually failed. I think it should show up now.
It is
Yeah.
visible now, Arun.
Yes, no
Okay.
visible.
So I wanted to pick up two different libraries for discussion, and one is Pandas and NumPy, and the other is NumPy. So, see, the idea is that we will touch base some of the modules, some of the libraries that are typically used in data science. So there are thousand things which are there in Python, but we will keep our focus very limited to the libraries which are very commonly used. We cannot cover all the libraries for sure. It is just a Herculean task. Too much effort will be required on that too. But this will actually kind of give you basic understanding of how to deal with the data. Once the data is available, what kind of processing you can do, what kind of manipulation you can do with them, how you can present the data as well. We'll pick up some of the libraries that are used in the video recording is right. From that perspective, some of these modules will enable you. And from there, I assume that in case if you have to pick up some other modules which we are not discussing in this forum, you should be able to do that. So in that series, NumPy and Pandas are the two different modules. And for those who actually have seen how the language works for the first time, maybe it's kind of you have to spend more time understanding this. Maybe you have to go through the video recording a couple of times to get on to that level where you are able to um, manage the content in your head, manage the concepts, and in a way, you're able to control the flow of the conversation that is happening in this forum. So NumPy, in a way, oh, what it does actually is NumPy, some of the integer-based operations, right? Uh, it handles that. Now, why it is required? First of all, when you're dealing with data science, a couple of things are going to happen. One is that you will be dealing with huge data set. That's one. Second, you will be dealing with a lot of matrices. Now, I think matrix is something that we have studied in school. Uh, Maybe somebody would have studied that in the college as well. In case if you have done software engineering, maybe it is also a part of it, but not to that extent. So NumPy, in a way, facilitates some of the operations that are required when you're dealing with the data, when you're dealing with the matrices. This library, so let me take you to the next slide. So it was created a long back, almost 20 years back, in 2005. Again, as you understand, that there's a lot of developer community that actually can pick up some of the stuff from Python and build on top of it and give it back to the world. So this is again one such example where Travis Oliphant developed this library. And again, it's an open source. You can also pick it up and further extend it. So it is actually, in a way, it is very efficient. Why it is efficient? Because what it is, and one of the challenges that we have with Python, which I shared in the beginning, that it's an interpreted language. So interpreted versus compiled, compiled will always be the winner because it is in a way before giving it to the machine, it is already compiled and it is expected to do its function. Maybe the functionality can be a challenge. There can be some functional logical errors. That's possible, but there is no compilation error. That's why it actually got translated into machine understandable format. Whereas interpretable is something which you have to go line by line. So it is slow in nature. So in order to overcome some of these challenges, some of the libraries which are extensively used, they are written in C and Fortran. These are the two different languages which are actually kind of, they sit very near to your kernel. And in a way, you can say that, okay, it is much more near to the heart of the system of the computer, right? So it is easy for C and Fortran uh, to develop programs which are very efficient in nature. So NumPy is a library which actually has been developed in C. And whenever you deal with some kind of integer manipulation, it can be some array operations where you have to iterate through different elements. The way we did it in marks, right? One by one, we did that. Uh, or you have to do vectorization. Now, vectorization is a very important concept. It's a very, very important concept. And NumPy inherently, the moment this language was, this library was developed, NumPy provided the ability of vectorization in a way, and I'll show you some examples so that it is much more apparent to you, much more clearer to you. What we did in the program just a while back, we iterated through the marks, right? We went through the entire cycle one by one. Now imagine that you have to multiply the marks with, or maybe you have to divide that marks with, or instead of marks, you want to calculate the percentage. So for that, you have to go through each and every element, pick it up and find the percentage out of it. I mean, you can divide it by 100, say, assuming that the marks scored are, which are listed are out of 100. So in a way, you have to divide every mark which is there in that particular list with 100, and this way you will figure out, okay, what is the percentage. So in a way, you have to do this for each element. So it will be cost. So if there are 10 elements, the loop will iterate 10 times, 100 times. And lot many times when you work on such kind of data sets, this is where the challenge you can qualify now. When you are going to deal with the data, it will go into millions. The real data, the real algorithms, and the power of algorithm will, you will see that when you have got the volume of data with you. So a lot of these algorithms which we are going to study, which we are going to implement as a part of these sessions, it requires availability of huge data sets. Now, and that's the reality as well, right? In case if you are dealing with a system, uh, you have created an employee system. Now, an organization, and if you look at the top 5 or top 6 India-based companies, they are hosting more than 2 lakhs employees. So if your program, if you have written this kind of statement that, okay, you have to go through each and every employee, right, and take some actions on some of the integers, it will take, it will consume a lot of time, right? And you have to figure out what are the different ways to cut down this overall estimated effort. Are there any smarter ways? Are really you have to go through the loops, or there are some other ways to deal with it? So there are many options that you will go through, and one of these options is that you use vectorization. So in a single line, you can actually impact the entire array. So that's the power of NumPy, right? And internally, again, since I called out that it is built using C, of course you will not be able to see the functionality how it is working. But for you, in case if you are using any other data types which are fundamental in Python, which are actually available along with Python, it will take some time as compared to NumPy and their its vectorization process. We'll see the implementation of these as well. And then NumPy also provides some mathematical functions like, say, you have to do some kind of linear equations and all. So that functionality is available. And again, it is extensively used. This is very important point. This is extensively used in TensorFlow, PyTorch, and Scala. So all I'm trying to say is that this is, in a way, it is a basic building block of machine learning programs that you are going to write. Um, I think almost every place, and the reason why I actually am calling it out, because while I was working on NumPy, at some point in time, I actually accidentally installed a latest version of NumPy, whereas the libraries that were written were a bit old, so they started failing. And then I realized that almost every library in Python in the modern world, maybe the way the programs are being written, NumPy is at the heart. Pandas is the next one, but NumPy, as of now, we are talking about integers, so NumPy comes into the picture. So all these libraries, these are very powerful libraries, TensorFlow, PyTorch, and you will realize that the moment you are getting onto these libraries when we start consuming them, they have made the life very easy. Otherwise, writing an algorithm from scratch, say for example, you have doing some kind of forecasting. Uh, if you write it from scratch, it is going to be very, very difficult. These libraries will provide you a function, and in a single line, you can call that function. So they make your life very easy. The point is that NumPy is actually used everywhere. So it's important that we understand and we take the advantage of NumPy when we are writing our programs. You can install NumPy using pip install, and if somebody can share their screen, uh, I think the PPT will still remain in the uh, visible. Somebody can actually open their system, and I want you to go to Anaconda prompt. Can anybody maybe Sohail, can you? I know that you have installed the distribution version of Anaconda. Can you share your screen, please?
Yes, sure, sure. I'm facing some issues with the connection,
Anybody
but
else? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can try once. In case if it doesn't work
yeah,
out,
yeah,
we
yeah.
can swap the cursor to somebody else.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Please, Reshma, go ahead.
Sharing screen, Arun.
Okay. Okay. Please go ahead.
Arun, is the screen visible?
Yeah. Yeah. So in the run prompt, can you write Anaconda prompt? No, not here. Maybe you can figure out here as well. But in the Windows, it's a Windows PC, right?
Yes.
So there will be a window option available at the bottom. Uh, on the status bar, on the status bar. Can you see that?
No, Arun, you'll have to guide me one more time.
Can you say Control Escape? Can you press Control Escape, please?
Okay. I'm sharing full screen. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Did you share one particular window or the entire screen?
Yes, I'm trying to share. Yeah, I'm sharing the windows. Entire
Yeah, in
screen
this
now.
case, entire screen will be required. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sharing the entire
Yeah.
screen.
So you have got this window in the bottom, right? The run prompt.
This
You
one,
go down.
right?
Yeah. Please click on
Hmm.
this. And on the search, write Anaconda prompt. Yeah, you see that there is, sorry, there is a spelling mistake.
Spelling, spelling. Hmm.
Yeah, you can, sorry, can you go back? I think we missed out. It's there on the system. Can you click on, yeah, you can write here as well, Anaconda. Maybe you can you go back to the window? Because I saw that that utility on your system. Click on the window again.
This one or
Yeah,
here?
yeah. This one. Yeah. Now say Anaconda. The moment you write ANA, something of that sort, it actually shows
Yeah,
up.
you can search with prompt. Search prompt.
Yeah, it is there, right? Yeah. Oh, it is not installed. Looks like. How is it possible? Yeah,
Can you
click on
search
this.
with prompt if you don't mind?
Search with
Prompt. Just
This
remove
one?
that. And no, no.
prompt.
You search criteria. Or can you share my screen? Is that
Yeah.
fine?
I think yeah, it is. It is not installed. Looks like those should
Okay.
not possible. Yeah, we'll let Visu share his screen.
Okay. Sure, Arun.
Please let me know once you see my screen.
Yeah,
This visible.
we can.
So this is the prompt. I mean Windows. So we see a prompt, PowerShell prompt.
Yeah, correct.
Search here. So, yeah.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah. So there
not
are
the
many
prompt,
prompts.
but
Command.
anaconda. Yeah, we need the anaconda
Yeah.
prompt. Yeah. Now, what we need to do, there is a special command, which is, let me write. You know it, right? Okay. Please go ahead.
Install.
Pip install NumPy. So it is already installed on his system.
Yeah, the whole package is installed.
Yeah. So maybe the same thing can be tried by others. The latest version, which is available of Anaconda, mine I installed a year back or so. So I had to explicitly install NumPy. But I think the latest version, NumPy is a part of the installation process. Yeah. So are we good with this? Uh, are you able to install? Anybody facing any kind of issue? With Vishu, we are good. Reshma, were you able to figure out where the Anaconda prompt is?
Yeah, Arun, trying right now.
Okay. Okay. So let me take you to the next step. I'm assuming that you're able to install NumPy. In any case, I think it's now a part of the overall package, so it should be there in your system, most likely. So let me now go back to the, the coding window and let's talk about how NumPy is being used. You set an image. Yeah. Thank you so much, Viju, for this.
No problem.
Yeah. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Well, the important thing is that uh, while we are writing this code and we talk about NumPy, uh, some of the things which you need to explore on this uh, integrated development environment. That's how we call this window as IDE, right? This interface where you are doing the development. You need to understand what are these cells, how do you code them, right? In case if do you really need to do this bit by bit, or you can do it in a single go. You will figure out your own style. I generally try to divide my code into multiple chunks, execute them, and in case if it is required, I do this in a repeated fashion. Um, so again, you will figure it out. So if you see that there is a lot of structure that has been provided in this program, right? So sometimes it doesn't appear like the way the code is written, but it's nothing but it's the advantage that we have taken from this ID. So the moment when I say I want to have one more cell, I want to write something. Now you see that there is a drop down here. I can say code, markdown, raw. Markdown is particularly used for this kind of text, right? Markdown is anything, raw is anything which you do not want to execute. It's a very raw content. Maybe you want to put something for your reference. It can be it can be a link. It can be some values which you have picked up or something of that sort. Right? You can use raw. And Markdown is something which it in this case. I mean, since I was preparing this for this session, I am using this. So this will not be executed, but this is there for a better understanding of the code, right? And then when you say code, that's how you qualify that particular piece of code, that particular cell will get executed. So if I go back, uh, this is in the raw format, so it is not going to get executed. This is markdown, it is not going to execute it. This is where the execution will start, right? So and this is what we did. Pip install NumPy, we have to do pip install pandas as well. But we'll talk about pandas in the next class. Now, when you are as of now, this is a new statement for you, some of you. Uh, when you are dealing with any kind of library, uh, something which is already defined in the system, or it's a custom library which you need to include, you need to call the functionality, you want to leverage it. In that case, you have to use this command import the name of the library, and you are giving a local name to it so that you can refer it. Here, typically, NP generally, most of the codes you can use NP as to refer NumPy. So subsequently, wherever NumPy is supposed to be used, we will use NP as the reference. And then you see that we are creating an array, np.array 1, 2, 3. So it's a 1D array. 1D means that okay, it's one directional. Here, what we are doing, we are creating a 2D array. That means it actually, in a way, the true representation of 2D array is nothing but a table or a Excel sheet. So you are creating 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. So there are two rows which are getting created, and it has got three different columns here. Whereas in 1D, we have got one row with three columns. That's another way to look at. Then we okay. So let's execute this so that we get a better understanding how it is working out. Yeah. So see, okay. What we have done, we created this 1D array, right? And we have printed it, correct? And we are not using F here because in a way, well, the variable we are using directly. We do not want this to be included into it. If you put F, you have to put A in the angular braces, and you can put it as a part of the string left. So These two are getting printed like this. Now, what we are trying to do, we are creating an array which has got zeros and zeros, 2 rows, 3 columns. The output is something like of this sort. Then we have got 1, 3, and 2. So there will be 3 rows and 2 columns. So the first is actually the row, the second is the column. The output you see that it is 1. Then we are creating an array which has where the syntax is np.i3. So what we are trying to do here is an identity matrix. So this is identity matrix means, let me show you that directly. This is an identity matrix. Uh, this has got a lot of meaning in machine learning. That's why I have put it here. Uh, when we reach and to a level where we start exploring how the different algorithms are working and what actually happens underneath them. Or maybe when you try to explore yourself as well, identity matrices are very, very essential. You will figure it out yourself. Okay, that the references from mathematics standpoint, and I hope you understand that when you're getting into machine learning, um, maths is something that is inevitable. You have to deal with it. Uh, of course, understanding the concepts. In case if you have to write algorithms, you have to create something from scratch. It's very important for you to understand. Since most of the times you will be using the libraries and the algorithms which are already written by somebody, which are already available, uh, probably you don't have to get into this level of complexity. However, one of the things which you cannot escape is the algorithm is written, which you have consumed, and you are doing some kind of forecasting, some kind of projections. Uh, but as a data scientist, you have to qualify, you have to share with your stakeholders that how good the model that you have written. So in case if the accuracy is 95%, great. If the accuracy is 80%, maybe you have to explain this to the stakeholders, right? And for that, you have to go to certain length. That is something which is non-negotiable. So while we can avoid some bit of maths, some bit of maths will still hang around. We'll try to deal with it. We'll figure out a solution to that. Uh, it's not going to be very easy, but at the same time, it is not a extremely uphill task. We'll deal it together. Here we are referring to identity matrices, and it is used in transformations. I'm just giving you that jargon. Maybe you can explore, or maybe you can wait when the right time will come to talk about it. Here we are creating a matrix with 2 and 3 columns, and the numbers will be random. So we are using random function. Uh, and you can see that it is actually this is how it is getting generated. So some random numbers it has got, and then we are arranging zeros, 10, and so I mean from 0 to 8 we are arranging different numbers, and then there is a line space. Another example I have given here. So this is how you will actually use NumPys. A quick one before we stop for the day. Uh, I just wanted to share the vectorization so that at least you get a glimpse of it. But we'll come back to this point, and we'll make sure that we are you reach to a level where you are able to understand this. So if you look at this here, what is happening? You have given two different arrays using NumPy 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6. Right? And when you're adding it, all you have to do is to say A plus B. Trust me, it's extreme simplification that has been done. Otherwise, what you need to do is to uh, go to A, the first element, go to B, the first element, do a summation. Then the next line, you go on to the next one and the next one here and do the summation. Same case with the third row and third column. So, and imagine when it actually grow, this data is growing. This will actually add a lot of overheads. The performance will get compromised. At the same time, you as a developer, imagine the number of lines that you have to write. Of course, you can do it through loops, but even then, it's unnecessary complexity. How effortlessly it is being done, and this is exactly which is called as vectorization. So again, here there is a addition. The subtraction can also be used here. Multiplication the same way. Division and so on. Right. So I think what we will do. I know that it is already the first session, and we have gone through the concepts of what is Python and the basic syntax. For some of you, I'm sure that it is overwhelming, and you need some time to process this and maybe ready for the next class. So I will stop here, but at the same time, the forum will be available for the entire week. Please put up your questions. Please put up your challenges that you are facing. And in case if you want to reach out to me, you are most welcome to do so. But this is something which we have to deal together. And for people who are coming from the tech side, I think for you this should be relatively easy. I mean, should be straightforward for you guys. Uh, so yeah, I think so. I will stop here, but I am pretty much open to take up your questions if you have any. I'm going to share you the slides. That's something which is not to be asked, and also the source code, the code that I have done, so that you can execute it at your end. But any other question that you have?
No questions right now, Arun. Maybe once we go through it, like on our own, maybe we might have questions and we'll come back to you for sure.
Okay, sure, sure. Anyone else? How was it for you, Sohail, uh,
So
Muskan?
see,
Yeah.
honestly, like there were a few things I was able to understand, few things I am still getting a hold of. So I will actually, I think I'll have to see this recording again, and I'll definitely have questions which like I would need help on. So I'll definitely put up questions. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Sure.
Plus, like because I was also facing, I'm also like my Wi-Fi is also fatal, so I was also facing some issues with slowness, and a lot of times like voice was breaking or very slow, so that also like contributed to me not understanding a few things. So I'll just
Fair
have to
point.
rewatch the video again, I think.
Yeah, sure, sure. Fair point. And uh, I understand the background you are coming from.
Yeah.
So for you, it is for others, it may be just a single step that they have to take. But for you, it may be a few kilometers that you have to
Yeah.
travel. So,
Yeah. Correct.
so
Correct.
yeah, I completely understand that. And I really love the courage that you are showing up, right? And I'm sure that uh, you will do good, Sohail. And
Yeah.
we all
Definitely.
are here to help
Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Okay. I think if that is the case, we can close the session. Uh, you enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll talk very soon. I'll let you know. The next class is going to be on Sunday only. But I have to figure out. I'm trying to contemplate what is the best possible slot which is available. So please pardon me for that. But I will make sure that I am responding in a couple of days. I'm not taking it. I'm not dragging it till the very end and keeping you all in suspense. But in give me a couple of days, and I will have a fixed schedule which we are going to run for the next 4 months. All right. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for
Thank
your
you.
time, and yeah, you enjoy your Sunday. Thanks. Thanks.
You
Thanks.
too.
Yep.
Bye.
Thanks, Arun.
Thank you,
Bye.
Arun sir. You too.
Bye bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.